I drove field cuts through my neighborhood.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Sunday episode of Fearlessly Authentic with Lucky, your host, and we have Latham in the house. How are you?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us for this super chill Sunday night show. At least on my
For
side.
sure. Yeah. Let's see what's we got going on. Who's in the house with us? Cirrus, I haven't seen you in a couple days. I was thinking about you. And we got Popeye. How was your bike ride, Popeye? How was it? I's the fave.
We love Awesome Fave.
Me too. Lady
We love Beauty
Alex.
and the Boom.
Lady Alex.
Howdy, Alex.
Alex the wench is here. She said. Oh, 94. God, that's really
Oh my. I thought I was a little warm. It's like 50 something. No, it's 60 something. I don't know how much it is. It feels 60 something. Yeah, 72 outside, so it's got to be like 65 or some shit in here.
Cirrus is getting
That's my chair.
Rain.
I'm situating.
Rain.
My bad. Oh, rain. I missed that. What's that like? I record it every time it happens because it's so rare. So I can listen to it to remember what used to be.
What, when it used to rain?
Yeah, when it used to rain. I literally have it on my phone, like rain, Hollywood, whatever date.
Oh.
We'll see when it rain last. I'll tell you, because I recorded it the last time. So I'll tell you when the hell that happened. Rain in Hollywood, literally March 28th, 2022. I haven't recorded anything since April on my phone. Interesting. But March 28th was the last time it rained in Hollywood, over a month ago.
That's crazy.
Over 2 months ago. I can't count. It's fine. Hey, Angela. Nice to have you.
Anthony's always coming in with like the, just the smile, the cool, like, hey, yeah, I'm here, love it. Whoa, it just jumped on me. Hate when it does that. Like, I feel like I'm gonna like miss things. Little, hello to you. Lovely beans is what Little says. Just for that. Little loves our Elle squirrel distraction. Sarah said I was here last night. Well, maybe I just thought that I missed you. I don't know.
I saw him at some point.
I don't know. I felt like I haven't.
I saw him at the Stever show because I was there for a pop-in. Had to leave.
See, I was just thinking about you, I guess. Miguel.
Omar's here too. Yay, Omar. What's up?
Omar. We have such an awesome fam.
Shelly. Shelly, it was so good having you on the Thursday show. I won't. I agreed.
Lady Alex said you'll never make it as a weather girl.
Good thing that wasn't my aspiration.
Yeah.
I'd be shit out of luck. Or a mathematician. Like, it's a good thing that neither of those were meant to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Being dyslexic and math, like, that's like really hard. It's something that is
I
very
have no
complicated
excuse.
sometimes.
I just am not a mathematician.
Fredward and Shelley. Oh yeah, and there's the Omar. Omar. Oh, Popeye's kick ass. Look at that. Already liked it over on Odyssey. I haven't even been over to Odyssey yet, but you already went over there and liked
Me
it.
neither.
I appreciate you.
Or Rumble. I'm behind.
Yeah, I know. I haven't been over there yet either.
I've been getting shit for the show. I apologize. I'm watching some like it hot, but whatever.
I'm gonna pull
For the
up
first
Rumble.
time, all the way through. Not all the way through. I edited it because of the show. I was like, I don't have an hour. I don't have 2 hours, so I'll start at the 30 minutes because I know what happens up till then because I was watching a reaction to it, and then I was like, okay, well we got to edit this because I have to take a shower. So I was like, let me go over here, and then I wanted to finish the reaction before the show, and then I finally like just edited it until I got to like maybe half of the movie. So I saw like an hour of it. Oh
Nice.
well. It's the
All
thought
right.
that counts.
I'm on Rumble. So we
I'm
got
going
that.
on Odyssey.
And yeah, I gotta pull up Odyssey.
Mute. We got 2 likes. Sweet. Rumble. Got some shit for Rumble tonight.
Ooh.
COVID shit. Bill Gates shit. All the good stuff.
Ooh. Nice.
Oh, I went the wrong place. Damn it. I have to really learn how to put the show next to the show stream, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah,
I like to make it difficult.
if everybody can give us a subscription, a sub over on Odyssey and Rumble, it would really help us out. Get some more people following us over there. Oh, Leo, what's happening? Something's happening. Leo just went after the cat. Leo, come here. Come here. Why are you all upset? Come on, come around. You're fine. Oh. Was the kitty being mean to you? Was that kitty being mean to you? He says, I'm only like 7 pounds, and that cat's like 21 pounds, and he's big, and
Losing
he'll.
his head.
I know.
Don't
it's
lose
weird,
your
right?
head, Leo.
Did you guys ever notice that Leo has a heart under his chin? Let's see if I can get it. See it? Let me see Leo's little heart. Well, your head's missing. You can't really see it. Oh. So yes, Leo is apparently he got in a fight with the cat. We got in a fight with Everett the other day. And I wasn't downstairs. Dingo,
like
baby. Angela, I was having trouble with Odyssey. I think it was yesterday. For a little while, it wouldn't load up. Like just in general, like I try to watch. If I'm gonna rewatch something, I try to watch it over there if I can. For a little while, it wouldn't load up. Like just in general, like I try to watch. If I'm gonna rewatch something, I try to watch it over there if I can. Oh, Elle, you're looping.
Hold on. Fuck it. Mute, please.
Oh, Shelly, are you on a laptop now? That's got to be better. Lil said that a baby ate his dingo. Uh-oh.
I assume that was some issue with the audio because my speaker was on at the same time that the audio was on for the Rumble because I was signing in, but then it went on instead of like I didn't mute it, so that's what happened. I don't know what that means, but it happened.
Steve is laying down little. I'm sure he'll come back. He might come back down. I'm not sure. I don't know. Oh my gosh. How has everybody been? Like, checking in. Checking in with everybody. Where am I looking at? Okay. I'm looking for the link for the Odyssey. If you don't have an Odyssey already, and if you want to follow the invite link, it helps both of us out.
Oh, by the way, for the chat, my avatar is a picture that I took of some flowers in an area in Hollywood at night with my new lens. So that's an Elle original. And it's my laptop wallpaper now.
Oh, nice, nice.
I think that's pretty psychedelic for the show.
Yeah, I like it. What kind of flowers is it?
I fucking don't know. So, any flower enthusiasts want to give me a name of this flower? That'd be great. They're all over Hollywood. I don't know what the fuck they are.
So Odyssey is working for me Odyssey's working for me, and Rumble seems to be working also.
Let's see.
Right.
Rumble was working. That's why it was in my ear.
Are we all good then, I think?
Takes a minute, but it does work. And then Odyssey's good too.
Yeah, we've been good, Omar. Just like working on getting a lot of stuff up onto our online store. That's been. I mean, like it's not like the worst thing to do. It's not like the hardest thing to do, but it can be a lot. I can show you guys real quick some of the new stuff before we get into everything. There's a little Leo's head is on there. I mean, how cute. Oh, Jelly Love is in the house. Yes, Lady Alex, you should do that. Lady Alex said we should take pictures of ourselves wearing Lucky's jewelry and shirts. So have you guys seen? There's some new stuff in the store. These are the wristlet pouches that I make. And I had a bunch made, and I had them from when we were actually, out and about, and actually at shows and doing all that. Do you remember these ones? Do you remember having the Mr. Nosy and Oh my gosh. Oh, what is the other ones that there was? Trying to remember. Oh, I thought there was the Mr. Men show. That's what it was. And then there was like the Little Miss, Little Miss Naughty, Little Miss Sunshine, Little Miss Giggles. But I have a
I'm
ton
responding
of
to
them.
Elon Musk right now.
Oh boy.
That's
So
funny.
these bags are super cute. They're awesome for your phone, your keys, your pipe, whatever it is you want to put on it. Yeah, that one's got two. Oh yeah, here's one that says Little Miss Naughty. Do you guys remember these? And Little Miss Fun. Did you ever watch those, Elle?
No, I don't know what you speak.
The Little Miss Sunshine and Little Miss Naughty.
What's naughty? I know the movie Little Miss Sunshine.
Like the kids' cartoon movie?
No, I've never heard of it.
Yeah. What about Smurfs?
I never even watched SpongeBob. And these kids love SpongeBob.
What about
I did
Smurfs?
grow up watching the Smurfs. Yes, my brother loved the Smurfs. There's a funny picture of him on one of his birthdays, all Smurf gear, just from head to toe Smurfs. I'm sure he loves that picture.
See these are actually I have the Smurf ones that are actually made from a vintage Smurf sheets. And I have Grateful Dead fabric.
To be fair, to be honest, I've never even heard a Grateful Dead song. I'll say that. I'm sorry. Am I kicked out?
You know Grateful Dead songs because you've listened to the Steve sing them. Yes, you have.
Not by themselves, not their originals. And I just heard the Sultans of Swing song as that cover that we heard on Beauty and the Boomer last night. I had never heard that before. And I was like, oh, that's not too bad. The cover, but I don't know about the original. This is not my kind of band.
More Grateful Dead merch. Yeah.
Why are they grateful? Are they grateful for like the dead being a part of their lives, or like what's the deal there?
Yes. No.
Why are you called Deadheads? Because that's the name of the band, I guess. Because Grateful Dead.
Yes.
Like they have a big following at the Hollywood Bowl. Like they have concerts every once in a while. And oh shit, somebody knows what the hell my flower is. Hell yeah. Let me look it up. Blue agapanthus, which I read as asparagus for some reason. Of course I did though. Anyway, they have concerts from time to time that deadheads go to and get really excited about. It's a bunch of older gentlemen and women just having a party at the bowl. Back in the day before the vaccine mandates and the mask mandates. And probably soon again, but I don't think they're on the schedule anymore. So we'll see if those ever come back. But they have certain kind of like themed concerts at this venue from time to time. It's kind of interesting.
Dico said little blue communists.
Blue communists? Okay. Blue agapanthus. Remember agapanthus, like panther. Oh, thank you. All right. Let's see if that's it. Brilliant blue African lily, agapanthus. They're gorgeous. It's a lily. Tis a lily.
There you go, little.
Give me a
There's
fucking picture, bitch. Oh no. Oh,
I could
no.
make one. I could make a wristlet out of this material. Like, yes.
Can I get an image search? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's definitely what it is.
I made hoods out of this material, little. Let me show you. I actually have.
It's more purple than blue, but all right.
Are you ready? Is it showing up? Ah. It makes me disappear. It's got pockets. It won't show until you. Oh, there they are.
I heard hair was spicy, Alex. I've never seen it.
It's so weird. It makes it all disappear.
Are you promoting Pride right now?
No. It's just
It looks a little pridey.
Well, I mean, it's rainbow fabric, but
they co-opted the shit out of the rainbow, man.
I mean, really it's vintage. It's a vintage. You know, I grew up in the 80s. You know, like everything was rainbows.
That's a proper rainbow, though. I mean, it seems to have all the colors that you need there.
Yeah.
The light shades.
It doesn't have any red. It goes from like light blue to green to yellow, orange, this kind of like fuchsia color, different shades. There's no red, but yeah, it's a hood with ears.
Now I want to look at crayons. My OCD is kicking into gear. I need to look at red now. The absence of red has upset me. Deep red. Now there's a movie. Whoa. Not enough red in deep red, I don't think either.
Yes, it's like Rainbow Bright meets Cookie Monster. Yes.
I could never afford Rainbow Bright. Never got it. Ooh, we had like the Gigapets. Like that was the
yeah, you're a little bit younger than me, I think.
The Tamagotchi was
God,
the
yes.
big one. That was the highfalutin one. And then we had a Gigapet. Like I had a Gigapet instead.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That's what my brother and sister had.
I couldn't even get a Furby. They were so mean to me.
I had a Furby. Rude. It was creepy.
I had a Popples. I would trade my Popples for a Furby. But I
had a Popple
I would
too.
get a Gizmo. That's what I would get.
Oh my God.
I hate that I have to credit Spielberg for Gizmo. Ugh, pisses me off. And Howie Mandel. Like, he's such an asshole. I met him once. He did not react to me at all. He was such a jerk. He just ignored my existence. I was like, hey, Howie Mandel, cool to see you. And I think at that point, but I can't remember if I had audition for America's Got Talent yet, which I wouldn't have seen him at anyway. But I definitely had known the show at that point. I was like, oh, cool, it's Howie Mandel. I love, what did I say, Little Monsters or fucking the World, something World. Not Wayne's World, the other one.
Boy Meets World?
The kid. The kid. He played the kid in the thing.
Boy Meets World?
The thing. No. Let me look it up. Something world.
I'm not good with Hollywood stuff.
It's not Harry's World, but there was a show about Harry and had the Harry guy from Night
Harry
Court.
and the Hendersons.
No, but that was a good movie. No, we can keep going because, like, I was just thinking Harry and the Hendersons and how that was good. So you're in my head right now. Okay, wait, what? Okay, hold on. Okay, World. Okay, Bobby's World. I didn't even need to look.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yay. Now I remember.
Well, now I gotta check Night Court and get that guy's name, Harry something. And then check his shows because there was another show that I watched with that guy in it. Harry Anderson. That's his name, Harry Anderson. Harry's something or other. So what did he play in? Let's find out.
Oh, yeah. Anthony said Gremlins. Yes.
Yes, that's where Gizmo's from. Correct. The only good thing is Spielberg.
Little had a R2D2 edition gigapet.
Yay. Okay, now I've satisfied my curiosity of knowing what shows I was referencing. So
Trish.
Thank you, Trish, for joining us. We love you so much. Julie, we love you so much. We love everybody. Little Alex, Dingo ate my baby. You can't say that without doing the accent. It's just not possible. A dingo ate me baby. I had a Gizmo teddy bear too as a kid and a miniature poodle named Gizmo. Good for you. Living the life. A dingo ate me baby. Congratulations on having good parents. Sorry, I'm just kidding. I'm just a little bitter about the whole situation. I had all these other fucking stuffed animals and shit. I had Roger Rabbit. You know what? Take your Furby, shove it up your ass. I had Roger Rabbit. Not you. I'm not telling you to shove it up your ass. Although that would hurt probably a lot.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I would never instruct anyone to actually do that. But anyway, Roger Rabbit would sit with me, and I had a rabbit, like an actual rabbit, like in a dress, like a rabbit stuffed animal, not a real rabbit. And she was Jessica Rabbit. So I kind of made it more accurate, like physically and species-wise. I made them the same species, which was fair, right? Like, that's so much better than the cartoon. Like, I don't have a cartoon version of these things, so how could I make that work, like, logically? The only way it works is because they're cartoon characters. If she was a real woman, it would be very problematic. Correct, guys? I don't know. How did I have
do like a throwback night? Like, we're gonna have to do like a throwback and like bring up.
I watched Roger Rabbit in the theater. I don't know if it was like a dollar theater. Probably was because cheapness. But because my dad was not rich, but he was not poor. But he pretended he was poor a lot of the time. So anyway, you know the type.
Guess what?
Shoes all over the place, but he can't take you to a beach.
We have a Shelly in the house.
Oh, hello. I was just gonna say that I was like 4 or 5 or something when I watched Roger Rabbit, and it scared the bejesus out of me. The character that Christopher Lloyd played. It made a lasting impression on my psyche with his cartooniness, and that's a spoiler. I apologize, but anyways. The plane. Oh. They're going to Bilderberg. No, they're not. They're coming from Bilderberg because
I know. Yeah, that shit's crazy.
Shout out to Bilderberg, Mandarin Oriental, allegedly, where they have open reservations now. So
no, it's
go
open.
ahead and call in.
Go ahead, Shell. You can make your reservations where they had the Bilderberg meeting. It's now available.
They got some thing going on outside in a garden that's really interesting for some reason, enough to tweet about it. So, yeah. Sorry, I ruined Roger Rabbit for you, Omar. I mean, I didn't really. I just said one thing, and you're going to forget it because I only said it once, and you don't know which one was the spoiler. So it's all good. That's how that works.
Popeye said,
I already spoiled Star Wars.
Popeye said, I love when Kurt said, I don't believe in astrology. I'm a Gemini and we're skeptical on the JD stream. Yes. I don't believe in it.
Ah.
That was funny. Yeah.
I like Kurt on
Kurt
yeah,
Metzger.
I like Kurt on Kyle Dunnigan. But Dunnigan is slacking. I can't find any new streams. And I don't think they're giving us content right now unless we pay, and I don't like that.
Dingo said, I had a pet goat as a kid who would wait for me to come off the school bus, and he would hear the bus and come running like a dog and follow me everywhere around the yard.
So cute.
That's so cute.
There was a lost goat sign.
I think we're getting echo from you. Elle. I'm getting echo. I'm hearing it back.
Oh.
Is everything muted for you? It's muted on my end.
No, I muted myself for a moment.
Oh, that's weird. Shelly, how are you? Can you hear us okay? Oh, you guys both muted now.
I did it so that you could talk to her, but apparently that's not possible. I don't know why there'd be an echo. We haven't even talked about anything important with facts. We just barely mentioned Bilderberg.
I know.
Get over it, YouTube.
Oh, Shelly's having some audio issues.
Ah.
I hate audio.
Is there still some stupid ass echo right now?
Testing.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's how OCD I am.
You had to say them all.
Yes. I'd say at least 20.
There is an echo. I think I'm getting it on your. I think it's yours. Yeah, because your thing is lighting up when I'm talking. Elle.
I don't know what that means.
Your avatar gets that little ring around it. I don't know. I was hearing it. I don't know why it's doing that. Why is audio the devil? If I believed in the devil, then the devil.
Just another way to disconnect us. I unplugged and plugged in. I don't know what else I could do other than fuck off StreamYard and come back.
I don't know. Nothing. Are we okay now? Is there still echo? I don't hear any.
I don't know.
Lady Alex said, Shelly, is that your flip the bird tattoo finger?
I didn't even notice she was doing that. I thought she was just being really, and what is it? What is the word? I always fuck up words. Oh, fuck. The word. The thing. Inquisitive. There it is.
Oh, yeah. Like
that was worth it. That was worth it. Let's edit that part.
All right, she's gonna, yeah. We'll just let the control room know that we're gonna edit that out for our final cut that we don't have.
We totally edit these.
We don't edit anything.
I know, it's a joke.
Shell's gonna try to come back in.
I had a cat when I was a child. Back to my childhood. And one time it got run over in the driveway.
Your cat?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I don't know its name either. I have no connection to it. It was my first cat that or the first animal that I remember having, and it just died, and that was like the first time I had been involved in death. Hey, Shell.
Do we have you now? No.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Anyway, they're cats. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean there's Pet Cemetery, but like, you know.
I hadn't seen that by that point. I don't know when I saw Pet Cemetery in my childhood. I don't know if I read the book before watching it. I feel like it was before I could watch it, because even though I watched Roger Rabbit, which was scary as fuck, and I'd also watched like other horrific films when I was a child. But I think that one I waited to watch until later, and I probably saw it on TBS at one point. But I know I read the book, and the book ended better than the movie, in my opinion.
Cujo.
I read that book one time. Part of it I read in a mechanic's garage where
Can you hear me now?
dad getting service.
I can hear you.
I was trying to use a pair of headphones.
Oh.
That did not work.
I have such issues with the headphones, man. I prefer to use a built-in mic. Not the device mic, but like the headphone mic, because it sounds better. But it cancels out any noise around me too. It helps.
So, Baba,
Good so far.
Baba, the Rockfin thing. Okay. I've had like Pasta and Kit from Hardlands Media and a couple other people, like, you know, put word in for us getting onto Rockfin, and they have refused to let people get on Rockfin. But yeah, I guess people can put a word in for us. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what the problem is. I really, really don't. But to me, being so exclusive and not being inclusive to people doing this kind of work, that is a form of censorship. That's exactly what that is. And I'm just like really not thrilled with the way that Rockfin does their fucking shit.
It's a popularity contest.
It is. It is a popularity contest. Absolutely.
The way I
Much
feel
like
about
every
Rockfin is
aspect of life.
Rockfin. What are you gonna do? It's Rockfin. Well, I mean, didn't it start out as like a for like MMA and stuff like that?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Something
so
like that.
like I don't really put too much I don't know.
Well,
I mean,
I'll put it this way. They're on Amazon servers. So eventually the censorship will reach Rockfin.
Yeah.
It will. They are on Amazon servers. The reason that we still use YouTube is because it's well known and everybody uses it. But that's why we have the Odyssey and the Rumble channels. Yeah, I don't know what happened with, you know, like the Rockfin or whatever. I don't really go over there and use that platform anymore. Like I just really I feel like they exclude people that they shouldn't, and it's a popularity contest, like Elle said, and you know, it's kind of like, well, whatever. You want to put me on a fucking I'm on a what? I'm already censored over here. You know, like I'm censored on YouTube. We're censored everywhere, and then that is a form of censorship by not letting people onto your platform and making it like all like fancy and shit. Now,
well, didn't they just kick one user, one streamer off?
I don't know.
Or like they censored him somehow. I don't know what was said or anything, but something happened.
To me, it seems like it's a startup company that they are like, we're at like 300 subscribers on YouTube, and that's with them being actively against us from day one, from the time that I recorded my first intro stream, and they removed like 30 people that had subscribed to the channel. Like, it has been nonstop. I have the evidence to back it up. Like, I'm not out here saying that they censor me without proof. I have the proof and the backing of it, you know. Like, they found me across platform on Twitter when I didn't tag them or anything. After doing like one show, they found me over there and told me that they deleted accounts off of my channel because they were deleted accounts, or they were bots and stuff. And I'm like, no, they weren't. It wasn't bots. It was actual people that we knew that got removed from like subscribers. So, and they removed like 30 people in one day, and I barely had like 50 subscribers at that time.
Yeah, that's
So,
ridiculous.
like, they've been coming after me since the beginning. Like, I'm not surprised, you know. But yeah, I it's like, how am I supposed to grow if I can't, if we are so like suppressed in the algorithm and not shown, and people I have a bunch of you guys probably, you know, on here too. Some people couldn't hit the alarm bell to get notifications. People don't get notifications. Some people, like, they've been unsubscribed a bunch. Like, I've been told like all these things, and like people have shown me videos of it happening. Like, it's nuts. And it's like, you know, so I'm just plugging along as I can, and whatever. If I'm on a blacklist with people, then fine, whatever. I'm not going to give up what we're doing, because I feel like what we do is important.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, this is the first time for me doing this kind of thing, but I had my Facebook account from like 2007 just get disabled permanently last year, and I had like probably like 600 or more friends on there, people that I've been friends with online since like 2000, and high school friends, college friends, and a bunch of stuff. And yeah, it was all gone because they don't like what I said, and they can't take a joke. So I totally understand how censorship is.
Lady Alex, they don't tell you what their criteria is. There's no outlined criteria for Rockfin. They don't tell you. There isn't like a certain number of subscribers. There isn't any certain particular thing. It's like by referral, and I've had referrals. I've had people try to get me on there, or at least that's what I was told. So I don't know. It's really frustrating, though. It's extremely frustrating. I know people that have gone on there that have had like very little subs, and they get on.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I thought it was subs at first, but then, you know, I've gone through the list of people with channels on there, and it's not according to how many subscribers you already have from another platform.
Yeah, I have been excluded on there. I have been excluded from that. Like, okay, if we're gonna get into it, like, how many places do you guys see me? How many other channels have you guys seen me on? Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm not on many channels. I've been on a handful of shows. But you'll notice that the same people have the same people on over and over and over again.
Yep.
And I have like an open invite to people. I want everybody, you know, to be able to have the opportunity to come on here and, you know, to do shows. And like, I truly mean that. And, you know, that's not something that everybody does. And you'll notice who has who on and who recycles the same people over and over again. So.
I mean, like, you'll get, like, sometimes you'll find shows that have a good variety of people on, even if they get the same people on usually, but, you know, good variety too. But a lot of times it's just the same people over and over and over again.
The same networks working with each other, the same people working with each other. And that's all I'm going to say. I don't know behind the scenes what's going on and all of that. But,
you know, people talk about, you know, being in a little bubble, but, you know, you're creating your own little bubble too. You got to, like, reach out to more people.
Mm-hmm.
Get more people listening to alternative opinions and stuff and get good debates going. Like, publicly, not just, you know, one-on-one kind of thing. It's just making the division even worse, and I don't think people are realizing they're doing it, but it's just like, I kind of get, like, not wanting to talk to other people because, you know, people shout other people down, and, you know, some people are just pig-headed, but you gotta work past that, man. Like, we're at a point right now in time that everybody needs to get past their shit. Like, everything is about to crumble right the fuck down.
Yeah, like shit's fucking going down, and people are worried about fucking.
It's all petty.
Like, exactly. I have grown ass adults who block and unblock me nonstop, and I see them do it, and it to me, it's just at this point, it's so childish and it's amusing because it's like, are you kidding me? Like, do you spend that much time worried about me that you're gonna block and unblock me and like do like what? Like, I don't think about them. Like, they're just not part of, like, you know, what's going on in my life. You know, I'm focused on trying to do the best that I can possibly with the situation that I am trying to, like, you know, build my business, do this, you know, like, we don't have anything behind a paywall. We don't want to have anything behind a paywall.
No.
Like, and I, you know, like, and we're like, hey, if you want to help and support us, just, you know, like, we'll take tips or whatever and donations, but, like, you know, buy our shit. That helps. And it gives you something too, you know, like, that's kind of like the way that, you know, like, I don't know.
I personally like that model. Like, just, you know, buy products and that funds the show.
Yeah. Like, that's why
because
I
it's
showcase
like,
it, because it's like, you know, like,
you get like a physical piece of something.
Yeah, and you get something like, you know, I don't know, like, either way, it's fine. Like, it's all mutual aid. But I wish that I could give away the things that I make, like everything. Like,
oh god, yeah.
I wish I could just like send every one of the people something that I made. You know, like,
yeah.
I always like I honestly I have a really hard time selling the things that I make, and like, you know, like, I just like always want to like
share it,
give it and share it, because that's just my nature of who I am. But that doesn't help me pay my electric bill.
No, it doesn't. Well, and plus the supplies are expensive. Oh my god. I could tell you about the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars of art supplies I spent money on.
Yeah. Art supplies is not cheap. Like, you know?
Go to art school 3 times for art. Go to college 3 times for art. That will, plus there's a art store in Albany, and it's my favorite art store in the world. And I used to, when I was in college, I drive up there like a few times a month just to be like, oh, well, I think I need this for this class, this
Oh my
specific
God.
project.
I never even took like official like art classes. I would have loved to take official art classes. Like I thought about it, like I'm like, oh man, I bet you I could get on that Pell Grant and go back to school and do some stuff.
It's
But
not
I'm
worth
like,
it, man.
the,
Do community art classes.
well, it's a matter. I don't even have the money to pay for it or the supplies right now. Like, you know, like what I have is what I have.
A lot of them have. I mean, it'd be like it depends on what the class is, but sometimes they'll have like figure drawing or like printing classes or something like that, and they'll have the supplies included, and it's a little pricier, but it'd be like for like a 2-month block of time, so you get like 6 classes in for like say $120.
Yeah, I gotta get the business.
It's still a hell of a lot cheaper
a little bit better first. I gotta get
cheaper than college. And you can, sometimes you can just go in for 1 or 2 classes and only pay for those classes.
Yeah, well, it would only be if I could get the grant to actually get the free college.
Oh no, I'm talking about like through like art councils and stuff.
Oh yeah,
they're all professional artists. A lot of them are like art professors, depending on where you live, and you get a huge mix of people with different levels of experience. So you learn from more people than just the professor. So having done both, I mean, if you want to like go into a specific field in art, college is probably the way to go. But if you just want to learn like one specific thing, like say screen printing or
I taught myself basically everything. Like everything that I know, I've taught myself how to do it. Like I figure it out, you know, like I can look at stuff. I have this way of being able to, like when it comes to creative stuff, I have this way of being able to look at it and figuring out and go, okay, yeah, I can do that. You know, oh yeah, I teach myself how to do all the things that I do basically.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I've always been. It's just I just happen to have also gone to art college or art school, so I have like a mix of like teaching myself and classical training, but everything that I've always done is more self-taught than anything else. Like custom mixing paints, that's something I taught myself from when I was really, really little.
No, yeah, I've never learned how to like professionally mix paints or any of that. Like I just have always your own colors. Oh, I've always just made my own colors.
Consider yourself lucky because color theory is the most boring, tedious, irritating art class in the fucking world.
I can imagine. Yeah, I've never done that kind of. I've never done that.
Especially if you already have like your own method down for mixing paints and you're really good at it.
Yeah,
or matching colors.
I've just always done it, like, and I can match a color. Like, if it's a color I've already done before, I can make that color again. Like, I just have the eye for it or whatever. I wanted to read this comment though that Elle said. She said, "I feel worthless in this sphere outside of this show sometimes." Elle, you should never feel that way. I'm telling you, you are you're a gem. I am so glad to have you as part of the show. And I feel like there's a lot of male voices out there, and no offense, but it's a lot of times the big sausage party out there, and I feel like there's not enough female voices in perspective. And so I feel like it's really important. And Elle, you're really you are an absolute treasure. The knowledge that you have, the research that you do, and how thorough you are about things, I'm much more spastic, kind of oh, here and there. And Elle just always brings such great information. So I think that we need to give Elle a little bit of love here tonight, guys. What do you guys think? I think you guys are with me on that. I'm pretty sure I can say that.
You just research into things where after 5 minutes, I'd be like, ew, fuck, this is boring as hell.
Yeah, like yeah. And he remembers things that I'm like, oh yeah. My brain will go blank on like, like just like random stuff, like something that I could be asked like, like a million times and know for sure, and my brain will just go blank. That's just part of like, like the learning disabilities that I've always had with like just the retention and all that.
I have the same problem.
So, Elle, you're a treasure.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't care.
I'm lucky to have this platform that Lucky gives me, because I didn't expect anything really to come from my foray into indie media. I thought that was going to be it for me, that adventure. And then it kind of kept going and morphed into two different adventures that were parallel for a while. And then kind of like one of them stayed around and then the other one didn't. But, it was really just an embarrassment of riches that I enjoyed. And I was very lucky, very grateful, and not dead, but grateful for the opportunity to do what I've been doing to no applause, no audience for the last few years on my podcast, which didn't get a lot of love until this indie media adventure that I embarked on. So I'm very happy I'm so grateful to you guys, like the people who have downloaded or listened to the show, my podcast, because it's gotten really good, like compared to what it was before. It makes it worth it to make that show. I feel like if nobody listens to it, what the fuck was I wasting my time talking for so long and getting all that research done? It makes it worthwhile when you have people listening to you, even for 2 minutes or 3 minutes or however long they do. I haven't looked at the analytics of it, but that means the world.
Listen, I haven't listened to the new one yet. I'm sorry. I've been totally distracted, and I will. I look forward to the show. I love the way that you structure it. It's fun. It's like a little glimpse into your brain. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I used to have people on it. I would like to have people on it again, but whatever.
Yeah,
everybody kind of like went on their own merry way.
You should do that. You should do like guest things, because that was fun. We just did it on the phone, and it was just like talking on the phone with a friend. Like it was just like that's all it was, and that's how I kind of like have had this has kind of evolved into. It's kind of like it's just our space, it's our family, it's our place where I don't mind being a small show. Like I really honestly don't. I want it to grow because I want our family, our mutual aid and the knowledge that we have and that we share and the bonds that we have within this group. I want that to expand, but it's not my primary focus. Like but I feel like it's really amazing how things have come together. Like I think I've been doing this for like 6 months. I think Elle, you've been doing this for a solid at least 3 months with me now. And it seems like it just seems like it's just natural. It's forever, and it's not something I originally like sought out to do. And so I think it's pretty awesome. I think it's pretty amazing. Like I like getting to know all the people, and you know what I mean, that we are into different chats with, and like, just that sense of community and the connection that has evolved from this is really amazing to me.
So like Alex asked if how I came about you. In the chat for the Political Matrix was where I first met Lucky, and then it kind of went on from there.
Yep. I remember that.
So we met in the chat. So anything
we met in the chat. Yes. Yeah, it's
I would
pretty
love to be
awesome.
on Franco's show again. I don't reach out to people, so I don't know if I'm like persona non grata or if I'm just not trying. But I would love to be on one of these shows again that I've been on in the past as a group. I would love to be on there as a person, as an individual, but they haven't really reached out to me. So I don't usually reach out to others unless they're interested in me, just to avoid rejection on the whole.
Yeah, like Carlin said, it's one big club and you're not in it. Though this is a club that people are. This is very inclusive. Like we want to include everybody, except for there's some people that like to block me. Like the only thing is I ask is just freaking honesty. Just be honest. Like that's it. That's it. We can work with this about anything. But just, honesty and fuck censorship.
Someone disagreed with me on a political topic on Twitter today, who's kind of, well known, way more well known than I am. My gosh, but like a bigger deal than me. But popularity wise, but he said something back to me, disagreeing with something I was saying about voting being meaningless, because he had started his post with it being meaningless, and I was like, you should have ended it there, because he was trying to get people to vote in the LA election, which we're getting into later. But I was like, yeah, but the homelessness has not changed. We're going to get into that. The housing crisis is a mess, and the LA City Council is not helping anything now. So how is it going to get better when it's like this now? So anyway, we got into it a little bit, and then I said, I have a show that I do tonight, so you're welcome to join the stream or the chat. And he never responded. But I think he's just busy doing shit. I'm not going to take it personally. But he had enough time to respond to me, so that says something, that he wanted to have a discussion. He just didn't want to have it other than on Twitter, where things can get a little dicey.
It's funny because people act different on there, right? Like they act different on like Twitter as opposed to like real life. I noticed that most people
I will say he was very respectful. So just to be clear, he is very respectful to me, and I have no ill will towards him. I just hate the act of voting entirely and think it's a waste of time.
Yeah, I mean, come on. If we don't have integrity with our elections, then I'm not wasting my time. I've wasted so much time trying to vote, and I'm just not doing it. not happening.
We've been here before, and it sucked, and we don't want to go back.
I haven't voted since 2012, and I'm so desperate about the governorship here that I'm actually going to vote if Larry Sharpe can get on the ticket. That's it. D did so much. There's so much fuckery going on with this election. But if he can get on the ticket, which he was last time, now third party candidates have to get enough petition signatures. Never ever. This is a new thing. Like, if you want to run, you're on the ballot. Now you need petitions, and he's trying to get petition signatures. And it's just like,
they really make it hard.
In New York, Baba Yaga's
in the
New York.
Big cities, like it's almost impossible for any Yahoo to get into an election unless they have money, and that's one of the biggest problems.
Oh God, yeah.
That need our help so desperately, like New York and LA, which are far gone from what they used to be.
Well,
I put the Twitter the tweet in the private chat so we could give context to what I was saying, so that people don't think that I had a very disrespectful altercation with someone on Twitter, which is not what happened. I don't want it to be shown to be presented in a way it wasn't. So, for transparency's sake, let's look at the thread.
Wait, are you talking about
the Twitter?
Oh, the Twitter one. Sorry, I was trying to keep like listen and like catch up on the chat at the same time.
No, I get it. Yeah, I'll keep up with the chat.
Okay. Well, I have to put the things up. Okay.
Ray Walker, thanks for joining us.
What was that?
Oh, my dog made a funny noise.
Sounds cool. Yes. Noise.
She's such a dingus.
So he had a whole thread here about electing someone locally in the local elections. That's what they're doing now. It's like, vote locally. That helps.
It's still pointless.
Yeah, but I know from experience that it doesn't, but I say so. So if you click on his thread, you can see what he said originally. And he starts, LA, I know voting can feel meaningless. And I told him, just stop there. Just another blip in a sea of neighbors voting blue no matter who. But the more local you get, the more your vote actually matters. No, it doesn't. Right now, turnout is so low that we might lose everything. We always might lose everything, but all right. We've won since the brutal, tough on crime 90s. So if you go down, then he says more. He has a lot of likes on this because he's a big deal.
Never even heard of him.
LA's a young city, 18 to 34-year-olds make up the biggest group of voters with over 60,000 more people than the next age group, which is good for less than 30% of the electorate. Or is it more than 30%? I never know what that means, but anyways. But turnout is fucking abysmal. Only 5% of people aged 18 to 34 have voted. That's what I'm talking about. Winning. But yeah, I'll get to the turnout later because that's coming up again. We might as well just do the LA shit now. But anyway, if it stays this way, here's what we can expect. A mayor who is a literal Morbius. I've never seen that, and no one has it anyway. And will ship poor people to desert concentration camps. You know, like putting them out on the street and leaving them there in hundreds of thousands in some areas. I've seen it. A city attorney who blocks any left or progressive policy and flagrantly violates the Constitution to make life hell for the unhoused, which is already happening, but okay. A city council that raises rents, evicts families, responds to America's deadliest homelessness crisis by punishing the victims, and sells LA out from under us to the Wall Street developers who line their pockets. And lastly, a controller who acts more like a lapdog than a watchdog. If you click on that one, I responded to it. I don't know if it'll show up, but I can tell you what I said. Don't even click on it then, because it probably won't come up with what I said. Let me look it up.
Oh my God. He wrote a lot under that. Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Did you find my thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. So yeah, that's what I said. I said, we already have that, not to mention one that doesn't believe in choice and force businesses to enact harmful policies like vaccine mandates. Fuck LA City Council. The fix is in, always has been. And then if you go
I see a Ukrainian flag and I'm immediately just annoyed. I'm just immediately like, I don't even know how to read it. I'm just annoyed because I know. Oh my God.
But they like avocados. They're cool. Okay, anyway. Avocados are nuts. Anyway, what could we have instead in a perfect world? A nice, beautiful utopia, but not here.
Wow, look at how much he wrote on his own thread.
I know. It just keeps going. Anyway,
shit.
that's why I said he should have stopped after meaningless. Like, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
Holy shit.
Okay. If you go back to my tweet, we got into it. So
Wait, I don't know what I'm supposed to go back to.
the arrow.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. So I said you should have stopped at meaningless and saved your time and effort for something meaningful. LA voting selections, Sunday Thoughts, Giant Meteor 2022, because that's who I voted for. If you go down, scroll down, then he says, the first thing he says, and he says, voting for LA City Council is meaningful. Council members have full discretion on homelessness, proven solutions versus wasteful and traumatic, criminalization. What gets built, ugly luxury condos nobody can afford, and what's not built, housing essential workers can afford, and more. And I said they are literally making homelessness worse by voting to ban camping in many different areas, forcing vagabonds to move from place to place, not helping the issue at all. Meanwhile, the housing crisis gets worse as there is not enough availability to meet demand. Sorry. They are useless. And then he responds, I agree, which is why I've devoted my life to getting them out of office and public life forever. There's so much power at stake. It's silly to give up. It's silly to give up without a fight. And I said, I'll be covering this. This is where it gets meta. And other topics on the show, Fearlessly Authentic on YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey tonight. If you want to stop by and talk either on stream or in the chat, you're more than welcome. Then I gave him a link to the LA Councilman. We're going to look at that in a minute. And here's the link for the show. And then I gave him the link for the show.
Nice.
And that's where it ends. So if he should be here any minute, I'm sure.
We will welcome
down,
you.
Josh.
Come on down.
Josh, we'd love to have you. It's an open invitation, Josh. Whenever you want to come on and explain your views and debate, you are more than welcome. See, you reply to me in a tweet to one of my tweets. I invite you on a show. That's how it is now. That's what happens.
Yeah.
You get to have your say on the show. I'm not going to go back and forth with someone online.
Have a real conversation about it, because that's what we want, is to really have conversation and really have solution, not just talk about what's happening and that's it. We like let's have authentic conversation about what we can do and what really will work, and like the actual examination of what are our elections really free and fair and clear and transparent, where we can, we know that our vote counts and that we can, in all actuality, if we had the proper voting system, then we wouldn't have any of these elected officials or supposedly elected officials in office that we have right now. Like, I don't believe that. I don't believe it that who is there is who people honestly wanted and really voted for.
Yep.
And more people would vote if the elections were actually free and fair and transparent, and you could, really check that your vote counted and we had integrity. Then people would actually probably vote, because they would be like, no, my one vote does count for me. My vote matters. But that's not even the case. If you're not in, even for the bigger elections, the presidential election, all of that, the
important ones.
your electoral college and I'm in Connecticut, we're a blue state. They're automatically going to give any vote to whoever the Democrat nominee is. It's just automatically going to happen. Yes.
So lucky if you click on that article, then it'll take you to the thing I wanted to discuss locally that's happening with homelessness camps, as they say, the camps outside.
Oh wait, I just clicked off.
Banned.
Whoopsie. Let me pull it back up.
We'll circle back to it very quickly. But it's ignoring shit like that that we were supposed to have a progressive LA City Council. Like that was supposed to already happen. They get in there and then they take the money and then they say, never mind, on their progressive values. That's what happens.
It's crazy how money just like corrupts people like super easy, or the power of it, or whatever it is, and
It
they
probably
just
is
don't.
power.
All right, did that show up right? Yeah.
I was getting an echo there, so I unplugged and plugged in. I don't think that's me though. Anyway, LA Councilman Joe Buscaino seeks to ban homeless encampments near libraries. So this is close to me because I have a library across the street that I used to go to that had people who were in tents outside. That was dicey. It's a dicey area, and it got dicier during the pandemic. Very dicey, and so dicey that they never opened up the library. It was one of the few libraries that was not reopened because of the situation. And there would be people out there who would come and say, "Hey, do you want to go to a shelter or whatever in their van or whatever?" And the people would be like, "No, please, I don't want to go back there or whatever." So for whatever reason, they would rather have stayed in the encampments.
Well, honestly, okay. So being a person that I've lived at at a shelter. It wasn't like a big city. It was in this the town that I live in. That was scary, and it wasn't many families, and it was really rather mild. It's just like the amount of rules that there is, and like it's not necessarily better to be in like in a shelter environment as opposed to being on in the actual street. It's just not always it's not always better. Oh, I lost where I was with the chat.
Where were you?
I don't know.
Well, this was 2 days after the LA City Council took steps to ban homeless encampments within 500 feet of all schools and daycare facilities. So they already started that. And these are the progressive ones. So fuck off anyone trying to get me to vote progressive in an election again. I tried. It didn't work. I tried voting for Nithra Raman, and she fucked me over with the vax mandate. So fuck that. Not doing that again. Not going to make that mistake twice. She had her chance. She blew it. We move on. So yeah, then it was followed up by this guy, Joe Buscaino, on Friday. So the anti-camping law, which went into effect last year, already restricts sleeping in encampments within 500 feet of schools and daycare facilities after each individual location is approved for enforcement by the city council. And on Tuesday, what does it say? On Tuesday, the council voted 13-2 to have the city attorney prepare an ordinance amendment to prohibit sitting, lying, sleeping, or storing personal property within 500 feet of any school or daycare. The amendment will need to be approved by the city council before it goes into effect, which I'm sure it will. The motion for the amendment was introduced by council president Nuri fucking Martinez, one of our faves, and Councilman Kevin DeLeon, Curran Price, Paul Krikorian, and Buscaino during the meeting and was not on the council's agenda. How about that? So you just get something that's not even on the agenda up to a vote. Love that. Buscaino on Friday introduced a motion to get an ordinance that would ban encampments within 500 feet of all city libraries, saying libraries are an essential public resource and one of the pillars of our society. The councilman also cited cited reporting from the West Side Current, which said the Venice-Kinney Memorial Branch Library was nearly burned by a nearby fire that started in a tent. So obviously that's because of people living in encampments. They always like to shift blame or to assign blame to these people outside for every given thing, whether it's their fault or not, when it turns out not to be sometimes.
Oh, Baba, just to answer your question, it doesn't really matter because they're not really relevant, or worth the time or or anything to worry about. It's just that's why I don't talk about it.
What is it?
Sorry. The people that that block and unblock me.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I just ignore that now. I just saw that in the chat, in the comments, and I'm like, oh yeah.
But lucky Karen Bass is going to save everyone, right? She's going
to help me with those blocks, motherfucker. The people that blocked me.
No, I meant okay. I was trying to bring it back to the story.
She's gonna fix it all, Elle. She's magical. Because
that's what she has to say. I'm sure it's gospel. It's just gospel.
Oh God.
I've never even heard her, by the way. I see her signs everywhere.
All right, I'm gonna.
Hitting the pavement today, one meeting with merchants, the other focusing on federal help for the homeless. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Haskell has the latest just days away from the June 7th primary.
This is the epicenter of homelessness. Los Angeles. Anytime a nation cannot take care of its most vulnerable people, it has failed.
HUD Secretary Marcia Fudge, at the invitation of Congresswoman Karen Bass, who is running for mayor of Los Angeles, spent the day in LA touring affordable housing sites and programs that help the homeless get off and stay off our streets.
We have an emergency in Los Angeles, and my hope was that she would come to town and be able to hear some of the challenges that we have here in LA, specifically with vouchers, the need for flexibility in vouchers, and the extension of vouchers.
Fudge told reporters that although the federal government will never be able to build all the affordable housing that's needed, she got the message that they can do more, including vouchers and removing unnecessary regulations. It's something that's at the center of Karen Bass's campaign, leveraging her relationships with the federal government to increase their involvement in an effort to end homelessness.
Some of the particularities about LA we wanted her to understand. We also wanted to show off the fact that there's so many people that are doing such good work here, but are just not able to get to scale because the problem is so enormous here.
We caught up with developer Rick Caruso Thursday while he campaigned at downtown LA's Grand Central Market. Caruso told Eyewitness News he has relationships in Washington, D.C. too, but what the city really needs is a mayor who knows how to lead.
This whole idea, I'm going to go spend time in Washington. She spent a lot of time in Washington. We need to have somebody that really knows the city.
Everyone, including Fudge, agrees that the federal government hasn't done enough to help LA. So Bass says since she now has an administration in D.C. that she can work with, more affordable housing will come our way.
More, not enough. More. Just more. So maybe 600,000 places, if that, for 60 million or something.
A Kobe Bryant game-worn jersey from
600,000. No, wait. I can't do maths. Okay, 600,000 for like 1 million people that we're going to end up having on a house because it's so fucking bad right now. There was actually statistics on this that I read that I couldn't remember where I found. But anyway, yeah, so that's what's happening here. And then I sent another thing for the election, and then that's it for the LA thing. You don't have to read that. But I put it in the private chat for the next thing. Just to show you that, yeah, most California people or LA
Wait,
people.
is it the Guardian thing?
Most Angelenos won't vote for the election. Don't blame them. I don't blame them.
Oh, okay.
I haven't read this yet, so this is a improvisational article reading. Ooh, someone's excited outside. They're just like, woo! I'm like, all right, cool. Happy Sunday. LA Daily Press. Most Angelenos won't vote in this election. I don't blame them. Oh, sorry. Daily News. I cannot read, I swear. Okay, despite a recent uptick in voter participation, thanks to... Yeah, we want to click on that. I think that's the whole article right there.
All right, hang on. Let me
I
pull
gotta
that
get it back
up. Do.
LA Focus News. My bad. That's what it's called. Paper. Yeah, this is an app called Newsbreak that I have on my phone. It gives me all the LA news, so I know when the mask mandates are coming back. Lol. But anyway, despite a recent uptick in voter participation thanks to LA's new election calendar, history suggests most Angelenos won't bother to cast a ballot in our upcoming election. I don't blame them. City Hall hasn't exactly inspired faith in its effectiveness or integrity. 3 city council members have been indicted on federal corruption charges. Yes, you heard that right. In the last 3 years. Our outgoing mayor spent his second term angling for a job in the White House. And then there's homelessness, which local leaders tolerated for decades, paving the way for our current citywide emergency. So then they go into the whole thing. And I think this is like a right-wing article or whatever, but you get the point. It's like down to like such a low percentage. Like that guy was saying, Josh, it was 10%, right? The vote. It's not enough for them, but it's enough for them to win elections and stuff. So I don't see what the problem is.
I had to sneeze.
Anyway, that's basically, I don't want to read the whole thing, but that was giving you a point of view.
Yeah.
Giving you a little
Well,
balance.
at least other people are saying that they don't blame them. Like, they shouldn't blame them.
Yeah, but they're also saying stupid shit, but that's okay. You can say stupid shit all you want. It's fine. It's a free country for now, for some people.
It's mostly it's a mostly free alleged country.
For now, until the CDC wants to change things around whenever they feel like it. And then the LA City Council says, okay, sure, why not? And goes along with it.
Anthony said there's always a candidate, if need be. Mickey Mouse.
I don't even trust Mickey Mouse at this point. I'm sorry.
No.
Not gonna happen. Trust
Mickey
no
Mouse.
one.
Mickey Mouse is a pedophile, says Stever, because Stever is up.
You know what? Maybe he is. Maybe he has something there. I mean, it's Disney. Why not?
Well, Disney, yeah. I mean, if you think about what Disney
They love pedo
is.
shit.
Yeah.
And anti-Semitism. And racism. And sexism.
Disney is a big old rabbit hole in itself.
Yeah. We could do a
Say
whole
hi to the
episode on
people.
Disney.
Oh,
Say hi to
that
the people.
this whole series.
Steve.
Who's people? People hiding.
They didn't hear you.
Oh, Steve is back.
Yes.
Steve! Hello. I didn't know who you were talking to. I thought we had a new friend.
No.
I thought it was an animal, and I was like, "Oh, they're saying hi to us." Okay.
It's my backup.
Backup Steve.
You have
That
so many
doesn't
animals,
matter.
you probably get another one and be like, "Here, say hi." Anyway, yeah,
Oh, my
nobody has an
goodness.
answer for homelessness. The answer is pretty clear. Stop fucking pricing us out of our fucking rent of our apartments. Stop pricing people out of their houses.
People a wage and like an actual income that they can live off of. I mean, how stupid is it that we live in a fucking country where the federal minimum wage is less than what people are being charged for a gallon of gas? I mean, that is the biggest like smack in the face. Like, hello, yeah, like. And people use that term like, oh, like, we're a first world country. No, we're not. And that term right there, this drives me nuts when I hear people say this. When I hear people say third world country or first world country, no, like that is a term that came after, like, out of the Cold War. It's a banker's terms. It's a banker's term. Basically, it means like a lower GDP than other countries, but we are all living on one planet, one world. We should not be defining, especially people who are trying to be, like on the left, or on this, whatever this sphere is that we're in, because like, everything gets co-opted. We shouldn't be using the terms, the terminology that the oppressors use, that they came up with. But I hear people use it constantly, and it just, it makes my like it gives me that, like it bothers me that to hear educated people saying those terms like, oh yeah, we live in a first world nation or first world country or this and that. And it's like, you're using the terminology that the oppressors use. That's why they use it. And we're basically, like, I don't feel like I'm better than a human in another country that doesn't have as much economic stability or whatever it is. Like, I don't feel like I'm better than them.
And it's completely false.
Yeah.
Because it's just a construct that they use to make a country seem less than, even though they may have more fucking resources than the country that's calling them the name. It's just derogatory bullshit that they invented to keep people fucking oppressed.
Yeah. Where are you going?
This brings.
I want to eat my sandwich.
You're leaving? Steve is not even going to say hi to you guys. He made a banana and peanut butter sandwich and he's leaving.
I used to eat that as a child. Again, poor people shit for non-poor people is so annoying that I might as well have been living with my mother at that point. No offense to her. She was always poor though. But like my dad was not poor, but he was acting like it all the time. So there was no like fun, like rags to riches or riches to rags kind of shit that happened when I moved from one place to the next. Because I lived with my father for 10 years and then I lived with my mother for 5 years in a different city with her husband who has passed. But what I'm saying is like there was no real change. It was just like, actually it was a little bit better because they would spend on things for us and wouldn't bellyache about it and act like they were poor, even though they were. So even when I was poor, my parents acted like they weren't poor. So it didn't feel that bad. And we weren't really poor, like impoverished poor, but we were Georgia poor still at the time. Anyway, my poor childhood. But bananas and peanut butter was what we ate. We ate Spam because we had to. We ate pork chops because we had to. We ate baked potatoes because we had to at my dad's house. So yay, fun foods for Elle. Maybe some spaghetti every once in a while if it was a good day. Sometimes maybe you get some pizza every once in a while. That was nice, but that was what was on the menu, and some Ritz crackers if you were lucky. Anyway, off of that. I think we should circle back to Bilderberg because that's who's putting us all through this shit anyway.
Yeah, no shit.
So the Guardian actually had an article. I don't know if it's the Bilderberg guy, the guy who usually goes to Bilderberg. Let me see who it is that did the writing here. Yep, Charlie Skelton. He's good at this. He's a good reporter, and he goes on the ground
Are we
pretty
still
famous.
okay on YouTube with this?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's The Guardian. It's not some fly-by-night operation. I don't know if he's there. I'm trying to see if he's on the ground or was on the ground. Was this from yesterday? I don't remember. Yeah, it was from yesterday. It's titled Bilderberg Reconvenes in Person After 2-Year Pandemic Gap, which is what happened. So they put it off for a couple of years. I didn't know if they were ever coming back and if World Economic Forum would just take over. But here we are. Oh, you don't even have the thing I have. Maybe because you don't have the VPN on. Hillary Clinton is right in the corner. No, she ain't. Not about anything. Shut up. I'm triggered. How dare you?
She's not right about anything.
She what?
She's not right about anything.
No, she's not.
Unless she's like slyly telling the truth in whatever lies.
Okay, we'll say the conference instead of the thing that we were going to say. I'll say the conference. The conference is back with a vengeance. After a gap of 2 years, not going to say that one either, the Elite Global Summit is being rebooted in a security-drenched hotel in Washington, D.C., which we already told you the name of, with a high-powered guest list that includes the heads of NATO, the CIA, GCHQ, the U.S. National Security Council, 2 European prime ministers, a healthy sprinkle of tech billionaires, and Henry Kissinger, of course. And we went over this on Thursday before not anybody else, but we did a good look at it on Thursday. If you haven't seen that show, you should check it out in the chat if there's anyone who hasn't seen the part with the conversation about this and the participants list and everything. So we went over that before. Some people who are doing it now, that's interesting to me. But anyway, let's move on. What a difference those 2 years have made. The Western world order, with which the group has been quietly nudging into shape for the best part of 70 years, is in all kinds of flux. Back in 2019, the last time they met in the flesh, the conference kicked off with the optimistic topics: a stable strategic order and what next for Europe. This year, however, the agenda reeks of chaos and crisis. Top of the schedule is the blandly terrifying item, global realignments, which we went over, followed by NATO challenges, the biggest of which is obviously Ukraine. To be sure, the Washington Conference is a high-level council of war headlined by the Secretary General of NATO, veteran Jens Stoltenberg. He is joined at the luxurious Mandarin Oriental Hotel, which we told you about before, spoiler alert, by the Ukrainian ambassador to the U.S., Oksana Makarova, and the CEO of Naftogaz, the state-owned Ukrainian oil and gas company. They'll be clinking bespoke cocktails in the Empress Lounge with some of the Allied war efforts leading lights, among them Chrystia Freeland, whom we talked about before, Canada's half Ukrainian deputy prime minister. The summit is heaving with experts in Russia and Ukraine, including the Assistant Secretary of Defense for International Security Affairs, Celeste Vollander, and ex-Deputy National Security Advisor Nadia Shadlow, who has a seat on the elite steering committee of the conference. The conference room is rigged up with video screens for shy dignitaries to make a virtual attendance, and it's highly likely that Ukraine's president Zelensky will zoom in for a t-shirted contribution to the talks. You know what he always wears to these things. Just a few days beforehand, Zelensky met with and U.S. intelligence representative Alex Karp, whom I noticed and didn't mention when we were on last time, that he's a participant as well, who runs Palantir, which we went over the last time on the last episode. The infamous, when he was at World Economic Forum, the annual meeting. So he was at both this time, so that's cool for him. the infamous CIA-funded surveillance and data analysis company. Palantir, which was set up by billionaire insider Peter Thiel, who's also invited, has agreed to give digital support to the Ukrainian army, according to a tweet by the country's deputy prime minister. The participant list is rife with military advisors, one of which is a former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and some hefty cogs from the Washington war machine. Among the heftiest is James Baker, who is a part of the case, the Sussman trial, ironically. But he doesn't mention that, but I know that because that's how I know his name. Head of the ominous sounding Office of Net Assessment. And it's sometimes dismissed as talking shop and crazed imagining of conspiracy theorists. But in reality, it is a major diplomatic summit attended this year as ever by extremely senior transatlantic politicians, from the U.S. Commerce Secretary to the President of the European Council. Many consider it an older, less flashy Davos, staged annually by the World Economic Fund, which is not correct. It's Forum, but he messed up, and it is what it is. The two events have a good bit in common, namely 3 WEF trustees at this year's conference, and Klaus Schwab, the grisly head of Davos, is a former member of the steering committee. His Great Reset looms large over the Washington conference, with disruption of the global financial system at the heart of the agenda. The conference troubles some ethicists, those exist, which with politicians thrashing out an energy security and sustainability talk with the CEOs of oil giants BP, Shell, and Total. There's also the post-pandemic health with the CEOs of Pfizer and GlaxoSmithKline, who are locked away for days with Wall Street investors and no press scrutiny. And it gets scant coverage, partly because of its connections to the transatlantic intelligence community. Formed in the mid-1950s as a joint project of British and U.S. intelligence, the conference has kept its cards so close to its chest that the world's press has given up trying to get a glimpse of them. This year's conference lineup, led by CIA head, which we talked about before, William J. Burns, reflects those roots. Burns is a former U.S. ambassador to Russia and was elected to their steering committee just a few months before Joe Biden gave him the job, whereupon he discreetly resigned his seat. 4 other active intelligence chiefs are attending: the head of the UK's Government Communications Headquarters, the director of France's External Intelligence Agency, DGSE, the leader of the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, and Biden's National Security Advisor, Jake Sullivan. Former spy chiefs at the talks include David Petraeus, and Sir John Sowers, MI6, now a board member of the conference, and BP. And of course, holding court at the hotel bar will be Klaus Schwab's mentor, Henry Kissinger. Incredibly, Henry Kissinger, 99, has been attending these since 1957. The Prince of Real Politics.
No connection there, right? There's no connection.
No.
1957! Like, really?
Mm-hmm.
I was born in 80. Like, really?
The Prince of Real Politic has been the ideological godfather of it for as long as anyone can remember, and he's recently co-authored a book, The Age of AI, with the steering committee member Eric Schmidt, the former head of Google, and this year's Washington conference is noticeably rammed with AI luminaries, from Facebook's Yann LeCun to DeepMind's Demis Hassabis. Okay. It knows that, however, the global realignments play out, and whatever a reset global financial system looks like, the shape of the world will be determined by big tech. And if the endgame is continuity of government, as the agenda suggests, that continuity will be powered by AI. Whatever billionaire ends up making the software that runs the world, they aim to make damn sure that it has its hand on the mouse. You know what I mean. The people, the The group does that. There we go. That's a better way to put it. But this is Charlie Skelton. He's been covering these for quite some time, so he's a really cool dude. So check out his work if you want to know more about what he's done. He's one of the good ones that we have on the scene at these things. I always look to him for like information every year we have these.
It's good to know like who to trust within, like, you know what I mean, at certain, you know what I mean, because not everybody at these places are that write for these papers are awful, and so it's good to know who, you know what I mean, who is, at least we can approach it and then, you know, always, you know, verify everything on your own, like everything, question it, verify it.
I became aware of him from, I think, Luke Rodowski's show, We Are Change. So he's been used or been on that program in the past. So seems like good people because he's on indie media and stuff.
So today,
and he's very like funny in his verbiage, like the way he puts it. He doesn't seem like he's just saying what's going on. He's critical of it.
Breonna Taylor should be celebrating 29 years on Earth today. Just a reminder that, you know, the cops will break in and go and kill people if...
Well, that, like many things, has been kind of co-opted in the media and told a certain way that wasn't necessarily the way things happen, but they always have to have a narrative to go against the other narrative. So there's like an extreme narrative on both sides when it comes to these things. And that's what happened with that one, unfortunately. It's a lot more nuanced than the way they portray it on both sides, unfortunately.
For what?
In terms of the actual details and evidence of what happened, it's a lot more involved than hashtags would portray it as on both sides. And I don't want to get into it. I'm not getting into that shit, but like certainly not on YouTube. But I looked into it and was like, oh wait, this is only half of the story that I was told, because that's always the case. When you look to MSM, they're going to tell you what they want to tell you. Whatever helps them with their agendas. Whether it be Fox News or MSNBC, it's the same shit, different network.
Oh, yeah. Always.
Different bullshit.
There's always a spin.
And the truth is always somewhere in the middle. The truth is what you find on your own when you look at things critically, which I think everyone should do for every story, no matter how emotionally resonant it is. Mm-hmm. It's even harder to do it that way, but it's important to, especially with the Nazi thing that's happening, that a lot of people are emotionally invested in and think that it's right what's happening with Ukraine. So there's a lot of misinformation out there. We have to be aware of it. And it's not always pretty. The truth ain't pretty sometimes.
Like my shirt says. Oh, you can see it. Ah. It says ukes, not nukes.
Yeah, I like ukuleles. I've never seen one in real life, actually. That's weird. I know they exist. I've just never seen one.
I have one. I don't really know how to play it.
Other than in like a store, like nobody's ever played one near me, is what I'm saying.
They make... They're really tiny. The strings are definitely... They're thicker strings than like regular guitar strings. Way, way thicker strings. At least that's what's on mine. But
oh, Shelly, it's good to have you. I love you. Come on by anytime.
Yeah, I'm a mess right now, so it just like all of a sudden my allergies like just went on top of my head.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Feel better.
Well, I got infusion tomorrow morning anyway, so
yeah.
Yeah. So
well.
It seems like it wasn't as bad as I thought it could possibly be when you went for your infusion last time. So
yeah, well, there was a lot of side effects that could have popped up reactions or allergies and stuff. So see, I can't breathe. Okay, later.
Love you.
Feel better. Oh, that sucks. I know that feeling.
Jilly said that the Alex Karp was at Builder and was also at Zelensky's
At Build a Bear?
Build a Bear workshop. Yeah.
Yes.
He was building a bear.
Yes.
Volunteer. So yeah, I can believe that because he's working in tandem with that government and can't even talk about it, as we've discussed, as we've seen from the World Economic Forum discussion he was in.
Yeah, like Gray Walker said, I absolutely agree. You have to read everything with the notion that it is slanted in some direction. Yeah, because even
Thank you. Yeah.
Like Elle could bring you the same piece of information that I bring, and we all have our own natural slant to whatever it is that whatever information we are bringing, because it's a natural human human response, and then some people do it with intention of being that way, so
and they get paid. They're the ones who get paid.
Yeah, they get paid.
We don't get paid if we're wrong.
No.
By the way, I was wrong last on Thursday, and I want to address that. But sometimes you're wrong, and it's embarrassing, and you can't retract it because it's indie media. It's not like that. But I'm going to do my best with you guys to be as honest as possible. If I fuck up, you're going to know about it because I feel like an idiot afterwards. But I did fuck up last time on the Thursday show when we discussed very, not even that much of it, but the Franklin case cover-up, just mentioned the book and everything. And I said that I implied that the author was the one who got killed when that was not the case. So he had told about someone in the case who was the researcher who was interviewing the participants of that case, like the witnesses, like Paul Benassi and Alicia Owen and Troy Boner. But he interviewed them, and his name was Gary Cardori. And I don't want to give him the least amount of respect and say that somebody else died other than him. He is the one who died in a plane crash with his son on the way to go get some files that were related to the case. And for some reason, just forgot how to fly for a minute and died. So that was what happened. And it was one of, or two of many unexplained deaths that happened during that case that Wikipedia would like you not to know about because they don't really discuss it. They used to, back in the day when Wikipedia was worth a fuck, you could go look up Franklin case cover up or Franklin case, information, and they would give you all the information about Paul Benassi and everything. Now, just go to Wikispooks because Wikipedia ain't it anymore. You got to find that elsewhere. But that was a whole mess of entanglements in that whole scenario. Like the whole case was so crazy. And there was even some embezzlement of funds from the credit union, from Lawrence King, I should say, not Larry King, Lawrence King, who was Nebraska native, who was doing some dirty shit and doing it with children and kind of got away with it. So yes, Wikispooks is for real. I'll give you like the thing, like a link. That's the name. That's the thing. That's what it is. Wow. Also, I'll put a link for the interviews on the archive.org that Gary Cardori did with the victims in that case. I'll put that on top so you can watch it at your leisure. Yeah, Julie. I love Wikispooks. That's where I learned all the 9/11 stuff. And Dave McGowan's on there, and he's given a lot more love than Wikipedia gives him. Do they give him any love? I don't think so. I don't think he exists. Some people don't even exist on Wikipedia. He should, though, because he has a book about Laurel Canyon.
Can you put
Let me
that
see.
link in the private chat for me? Because I can't grab it
for
off
sure.
of here. I can grab it there though, so I can put it in the Odyssey and Rumble. I just like to give all the links. I feel like
I'll
that's
give you
something
both
I
of them.
wish sometimes that's one thing I wish other shows did more was give, like the links so
Yes.
like where their references
It
are
takes no
from,
time.
or whatever, like I just sometimes like it's like I want to go back and I don't remember it or catch it, and I'm like, oh, I wish I knew I had that link, or I could grab it. Oh my God, hang on. Everett, get down. Get down. Are you being bad? Get down.
Oh no.
Bad kitten. You being bad. He's not afraid of being bad. Like, he's like, whatever. I'm fucking bad and I know it.
Everett.
Come here,
I
you
love
little
you.
Hey, you disappeared. There you are.
So beautiful.
He has such pretty
He won't
eyes.
look at me. Hello, Everett. Good to see you.
Partially.
Keep on keeping on. I did, Miguel. I do that from time to time.
He's so handsome. He's a brat. Huh. He will freak out to go outside. So we don't let him just go out. He has to go out on a leash or a tie out or whatever, but he has a little harness that he wears. Oh my God, his fur got all over me. But he'll go out and he'll lay out in the sun, lay in the grass with his little leash, with his little harness on and everything. I have to hook it up to his to the harness and to his collar that he wears, because he it has to be a double safe one, because he'll squirm out of just the harness if we have it just on that. But yeah, he gets tied out like a dog does.
Mm-hmm.
He's funny. He likes to go outside.
There's a whole what is it called? Court appearance. I don't know exactly what it is. Some kind of hearing that Paul Benassi was in that I saw on YouTube years back that had him being not interviewed. Damn it. There was a lawyer questioning him, and he had all these different personalities come out, and people were suggesting that it was all fake and everything. But I just feel like it would be very difficult to fake multiple personalities the way that he would have to do that in order for that to be true, and then corroborate his stories like that. There's just too much to do. It was just the MSM just covered everything up. It was nope, fake. It was all fake. Don't worry about it. When there was so much more to the story than what they were telling them. Even locally, the local newspapers were on the take. According to the John DeCamp's book. So John DeCamp was the author, and he was a Republican politician that was studying the case and everything, and wrote the Franklin case cover-up. But the whole thing is so insane. So I recommend reading that book before you read the Franklin Scandal. And then you can read that one afterwards by Nick Bryant. But Nick Bryant's been kind of dumb lately, so I don't know. After the Gill and Maxwell thing. I don't know. He's a little weird, but just take everything with a grain of salt.
Centaur is right. We call peaches a pterodactyl because, literally, birds are really dinosaurs. Parrots are they are related to pterodactyls.
So birds are real, and they're dinosaurs.
They are. They're related to dinosaurs.
That's a circle back, guys.
Yes.
It's a callback.
Circle
callback. It's a callback to the birds aren't real. Sorry, they're not real.
Birds aren't real. It's a real thing.
Okay. It's a little confusing, but all right. What else was I saying? Oh, yeah, he was in court. Oh, yeah. Okay. So he had alleged that he was part of the MK Ultra kind of experiment where they fucked with his brain and mushed it up and
Wait, who?
and
Sorry, who was that?
fragmented him. Paul Benassi, the guy who was involved in Franklin case, who was a participant and also victim in that. It's very involved. Like they would have the children recruit other children, obviously, and it would be very much like what's happening with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell now. Very similar thing, but in Nebraska.
Oh.
And then there was Johnny Ghosh. If you want a crazy story, look up Johnny Ghosh. That's a whole big story in itself that we'll see in a movie if they ever have the balls to make it, but they probably won't. But there's a documentary about it, which is really good. Who Took Johnny? It's a good documentary with the mother involved, mother of the child who went missing. This was the first milk carton kid. So they had like missing children on milk cartons. He was the first one that they put, allegedly. I don't want to say that for sure because who knows what's first of anything. But he was seen as one of the first milk carton kids.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Like how they used to put pictures of the milk cartons.
And he was involved allegedly with the whole Franklin case thing. It's all connected and also maybe involved with the White House in the Bush years because there was this weird reporter who didn't really have the credentials for what he did, ended up being like in a gay prostitution ring, and they assumed, a lot of people thought that he was Johnny Ghosh, but he was pretending to be someone else. It's all very crazy, the whole story. I recommend.
Ooh,
if you have time and the stomach for it.
Cosby got charged again?
Didn't he get charged recently or like recharged by someone else? No, I think I read that was very recent, but like not within the last couple of weeks.
Jilly, you're going to have to come on and do a show with us. I've seen Jilly on camera before.
That's good.
Jilly, you're going to come on and do a show with us. You always have great articles and information.
Oh yeah, New York Times says there were opening statements. So he's accused of assaulting this woman as a teenager, and there's a trial. That's what's happening. Okay, it began in LA. Okay, at the Playboy Mansion. I'm telling you, a lot of shit happened at the Playboy Mansion. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to open that can of worms and talk about Hugh Hefner. But I'm sure he ain't fucking immune from all this stuff. And if he were around today, he'd probably be Me Too'd out of existence. A lot of shit seemed to happen on his property, is all I'm saying.
It's insane.
No allegations.
It's like all the people that like everybody that we're told as like, you know, it's integrated into our brains that you're supposed to trust the police, that you're supposed to trust, you know, you go to, you know, like you trust the police. Cosby was freaking fine, and like all these people that we are pushed so hard to believe that, you know, they're trustworthy, they're adults, they're in a uniform, that they're safe. But they're honest in the government, but they're honestly the people that we need to stay the fuck away from. And you shouldn't trust. It's like, it's so insane. It's insidious. And we're brainwashed and taught these things from the time we are children.
Yeah. I never really had an affinity for any of these people. Like, I never had like a moment where like, no, not Harvey Weinstein. No, not Bill Cosby. No, my childhood is ruined.
Well, I grew up watching Cosby, you know, like I grew up watching that show
because I don't get attached to them like that. Like I would never be like, oh no, Like, it would
Well,
just
yeah,
never
I wasn't
happen.
attached like that, but
But
I'm
there are
just
certain
saying.
people who just can't let it go, who are just celebrity obsessed and like, oh no, but he's my father. He's like my father figure, and he was there for me when I was a child, and my dad was away or whatever. Like, all these things that he had nothing to do with. He doesn't know.
Yeah,
But,
like he didn't
like
directly
they
impact
put these
their
things
lives
on them,
in that way, but
project things on
they
them.
put that association there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like I would never have that reaction. And it's certainly not Harvey Weinstein, whom I knew about, and everyone in LA, I'm sorry, knew about way before it came out, years before. And I was upset at fucking Hollywood Reporter. Yeah, I'll fucking call y'all out for promoting his new movie, which was the last movie he fucking produced that I know of. Something about a flower. It was a total flop anyway. But they were promoting his movie like nothing was going on. And I was like, I'm pretty sure he's a fucking rapist, but I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure.
But I
And
mean,
then
it's
it
all
turned
the
out
people
that's
that we're
it.
supposed to trust. Like we're told to trust all these people, and from like like you trust the police and the firefighters, and you trust
The police do raping too, by the way. They're allowed to rape prisoners in so many fucking states. It's insane. Like 20-something states, they're allowed to just rape a prisoner just because. That's not right. That's fucked up. That should be done away with in every state.
There's so many things like like I don't know how people willfully ignore so much of what's happening. Like it blows my mind. Like
And it's
the
every
fact that people
industry,
can
too.
just ignore things. Like your kids aren't safe at church
or school. Certainly not school nowadays. What the fuck
Boy
is going on in school?
Scouts. The Boy Scouts is not a safe place for your children.
Homeschool, baby.
We need a community. We're so disconnected as a population that, I mean, shit, I can't imagine raising a child in this like like in this environment that we're in now. Like I'm lucky. Skyla's 18. I only had Skyla, and like I look at that and I'm like, man, I can't imagine trying to be a parent to a young child right now and seeing the state of the world and being as aware as I am of what's happening. If you're willfully just like ignorant, or you're just ignorant to what's really happening in the world right now because the propaganda is so thick, then I could see, you could have a little bit of apprehension maybe and like, oh yeah, wishing things would be better. But being completely like aware of what's happening and everything, I can't imagine. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine being having a young child in this. Like I being a mother to an 18-year-old, I'm like, I can't leave this I can't leave this like this. I can't be quiet and not speak up and not stand up for what's right. Like, you can't go back. You can't go backwards, and just pretend that everything's fine. I mean, you could, I guess. You could stick your head in the sand like an ostrich, but like I can't. I personally can't. I can't turn around and just be like, yeah, I'm just going to ignore the horrors and, and just walk away from it or whatever. I don't know. But I can't. It blows my mind. I can't imagine the amount of stress of being a parent that is actually aware of what's happening, how that's got to feel.
Kelly the Centaur said, what's my shtick about this? Could you elaborate? Because I don't know what that means in this context. My shtick? I guess my point is that don't worship celebrities because they are infallible humans like the rest of us, and we should be mindful of that.
And well, yeah, and people tend to make the actor or the actress, like, they take their character that they're playing and they make that character who they are, but that's not who they are.
That's true.
And, you know, like, we need to not replace you know what I mean? You need to not replace the character or whatever influence or however we perceive that person. We need to boil it down to basically the facts, just like we do anything else.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, listen, like, Harvey Weinstein. Hold on. Harvey Weinstein developed a lot of great movies, produced a lot of movies, had a really big hand in it. And those movies are always going to be beloved as works of art that a lot of people were involved in making. Not just him, but he was an integral part of making those movies. One of them being this franchise Scream, which is still, you know, Miramax from the beginning. And there are a lot of Miramax films that are not Miramax anymore, but like they were in the very beginning. And there are a lot of films that he did over the years, like Quentin Tarantino films, that still get a lot of play and a lot of love. And I don't begrudge that. I don't have a problem with the work being appreciated, especially if other people are involved. If it's not like one painting that Picasso made or something like that, then that's fine. But it's when it's like an individual and they're going through cases and trials and stuff, and the fans or what have you are still like gung-ho about it to the nth degree and just do not want to see that they could possibly have done those things. Like, there's just such a blind spot there.
Oh,
That's when it gets dangerous. That's when it's like individual. It's not based on the art. It's based on your perception of that person.
Yeah, it's like it's like hero worshiping, you know, like it's we have to look at everything objectively, like in that through that same lens, because I think that's what's gotten us into trouble. You know, it's the same thing that happens with politicians and why people, you know, like still defend Bernie Sanders and still like follow AOC, and it becomes this like this cultist like celebrityism or whatever you want to call it, and it's like we might be able to pick them up out of a lineup of people. They don't know who the fuck we are. They don't give a fuck about us. We are nothing to them.
Well, we made it a long time on the YouTube tonight. YouTube got a lot of us.
Yeah, I know. It's like
we're going into COVID though, so I think that's a no-go. So join us on the Odyssey and the Rumble, please, darlings.
Yes, exactly. Kind of like Centaur. Yeah, don't worship anybody. Yeah, don't.
I agree.
You know,
especially like, politicians who fuck
like
you
Pablo
over.
Picasso. Picasso is like
I know.
He's like, yeah. Think about like all the priests that everyone knows that your kids aren't safe at church. Hey, get. Everett's being an asshole.
Yeah.
He's like trying to get up on shit he's not supposed to. He's gonna knock shit over. So yeah, find us over on Rumble or Odyssey. Let me see. I'm gonna grab the link for this here for the Rumble and put it there.
I agree, Miguel. We're all just human. Don't demonize or worship anyone. I agree with that. And I think it's harder to not demonize people because hate is really a big currency nowadays. Like the most popular currency is hate right now. You gotta.
Yes. It's really sad.
Indifferent.
I say we make peace with truth That's, like, if we can get to the truth of things, then we can go from there. But until people actually seek the truth and want the truth, and will acknowledge it and not have blinders on, until that happens, I don't foresee us getting very far. Like, I don't, as a child, I remember I was taught to tell the truth, to speak the truth, but at some point adults turn it off and just stop telling the truth anymore. Not really sure what happens or what age it happens at, but it happens, and we need to go back to that. There you can say that you can say truth in many different ways, in many different forms, and it doesn't have to be truth. Doesn't have to be mean, but it's really important. Truth is really important. We need to bring that back. If I could give the world one thing, I always say it would be truth. I would give the world truth, because then we could get somewhere. Can you imagine if politicians couldn't lie? Can you imagine if a world where,
Like liar.
yeah, like if you couldn't lie, like, like, how much that would change the world. Imagine a world where you couldn't lie. Angela said, my daughters are raising little ones right now. None of us feel safe at all. School days are nightmarish now. My older is seriously looking into homeschooling. What area are you in? You don't have to say if you don't want to. Like, be as specific or non-specific as you want, But I know, in Connecticut, there are like homeschool groups, like where they're, it's almost like a schoolhouse type community, like where different parents cover different things and stuff like that. Like, that's the kind of, if we had an intentional communities and we actually knew our neighbors and knew the people around us, and we knew that certain things were just not acceptable in our societies, within our within our communities, then I feel like you would see a lot less of the things that happen now. Yeah, I don't know what the children are going to face in the future. It's really, really hard. It's really hard. It's really tough. It's difficult. It's difficult for me to go, wow, my daughter is, like, she's 18 and she says that she's probably not going to have kids. And as heartbreaking as that is, and how much I love kids, I completely understand it. And I'm very torn with it. And it's absolutely her choice, and I support her no matter, whatever her decision is in that. But fuck, man. Like, we are allowing them to rob our children of a future. And it's really hard when, good night, Popeye. Yeah, like Julie said, it's beyond tragic. Yeah. And it's really hard when, like, when you don't have the income to feel like I can be out there, or, and I have disabilities, and, it makes it more difficult for me to get out there and do direct action and to commit to going to certain things, because I don't know how I'm going to feel on that particular day. I could have a really bad episode and not be able to do it. And then, like, I have, so I do what I can, and I do it on a smaller scale, and I do things a lot less, like, scheduled, because it's hard for me. It's really hard for me. And, like, we need to get work done on the van, and just not having that stability to do it. They count on that. That's what they want us. They want us in that position where we don't have the means, where we can stand up and say, like, enough is enough with this. It really sucks. All right, everybody, can you... can I publish a video without the chats? I don't know what... not sure exactly if that was towards something that we're doing or not. Can you guys all join us over on Odyssey or Rumble? Are we having anybody join us over there? We got a couple people over on Rumble. We got some
10
people
on Odyssey.
Awesome. Just everybody
There's
that was
20.
on YouTube going over there. We still have 19 people over here on the YouTubes. The truth is like science. It changes. To a point. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right. Is everybody going over to Odyssey or Rumble?
Got 9 on Rumble.
Yep.
Yeah.
10 on Odyssey. All right. Yeah, the birth rate. Yeah, the birth rate is a whole thing.
We love you guys.
Wes said, what do you think of picking one or the other of the alternative platforms so that the chat stays together? It seems like consensus is a lot of people are liking the Odyssey for the chat. I'm not sure. There's preferences on either side.
Pretty close, but yeah, it's 11-6 now, so probably that would be the move. If it moves to that, I can't really participate as much, but that's okay.
What, on
I'll
Odyssey?
just give the links to you to put in if that happened.
Yeah, we kind of do both. Some people have problems with one or the other. All right, Omar says going over to Rumble. Yeah, I'm going to be on both. So I kind of go back and forth between the two. All right. Do we have everybody heading over to Odyssey or Rumble? Oh. We lost Elle. I hope everybody's doing good tonight. Let's see. We got some of you guys over here on Odyssey and some of you guys over here on Rumble. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting the like button on the streams while you're there, while we're waiting for Elle to pop back. Yeah, I like the stickers on Odyssey. There you are. All right.
I don't know.
All right, everybody. We're going to say goodbye to YouTube. So I hope that you are joining us over on Odyssey or Rumble. There we go. There's a little.
Kick me off without telling me.
You must have said something about Build-A-Bear or something.
I didn't say shit this time. It was just like, fuck you, bitch. And then it wouldn't reload. I couldn't reload the stream. I even went off Wi-Fi for a second, went back on. Dumb.
All right. We're going to say peace out to YouTube.
Love you.
So
Bye-bye.
join us over on Odyssey or Rumble. If you're watching this on the replay, click one of the links and head over to finish watching the rest of the show with us.
The copyright portion. Just kidding.
Yeah, right?
That's
All
pretty
right.
much it. And Cove. The Cove version.
Bye,
Join us with the Cove.
YouTubes!
Bye. All right.